The Violinist by Sam King. Chapter 13. For various reasons, scientists have had particular interest and fascination with a ready supply of mummies. One of the most well-known Egyptian mummies and pharaohs is Amenhotep IV, also known as Moses, Oedipus, and Jesus Christ, rolled into one. Amenhotep IV changed his name in the mid-1300s BC to Akhenaten. This meant spirit of the sun god. This marked his first step in rejecting the rich and wealthy value from his forefathers for a starter. Soon, Akhenaten constructed a new sun city to respect and worship Aten. Service was held in the afternoon. He broke the tradition of no religion and promoted monotheism. Monotheism was the belief that there was only one God, which for them was Aten. He also announced the discovery that he was Aten's long-lost son. Hoi Polloi did not approve of these changes, so therefore he ordered his thugs to destroy any pictures of gods beside his supposed father. No matter where the frame may lay, it was to be destroyed. This continued on for many years, but also in Akhenaten's 17-year period, he also showed an art to where his birds, fish, and flowers started to look realistic. His harem of artists also portrayed his royal family. This included his favorite wife, Nefertiti, and Tutankhamun. The portraits were of strangely shocking scenes, such as them eating meals, caressing each other, or smooching. The royal family members appeared oddly deformed. Strangely, the servants and other less highly valued humans looked, well, human. Pharaohs in the past are portrayed with square shoulders and dancers' physiques. The archaeologists describe the royal art like carnival barkers, such as a humanoid praying mantis, almond-shaped heads, squat torsos, spidery arms, chicken legs, buttocks, lips, concave chests, penniless potbellies, and so on. Some Egyptologists see the pictures as evidence of heritage deformities in the pharaoh's line. Overall, studying DNA can reveal many things about our ancestors. The Egyptian government has resisted to let genetics explore their most precious mummies, as this could destroy them by the bones breaking down slowly. Only in 2007 did Egypt allow scientists to draw DNA from 5 generations of mummies, including Tut and Akhenaten. With taking many CT scans of the corpses, this helped resolve some explanations about the era and politics. The study proved that the royal family looked actually normal. The portraits were actually propaganda. Akhenaten believed that his highly powerful status of the sun god and made him portray as inhuman. The mummies did show some deformities, though, such as cubed feet and cleft palates. It turns out, though, that each generation endured more. Tut's generation, which was the fourth, endured both cubed feet and cleft palates. Turns out, though, that Tut had stutters in his DNA because both his parents had the same parents. Also, Akhenaten turned to his sister, Nefertiti, to produce children. Because Tut inherited malaria from his family line, he was considered dead by age 19. Malaria is a life-threatening disease caused by parasites and transmitted through the bites of an infected mosquito. All of Tut's children died only at the age of 5 and 7 months old because of this. The family's sins were never forgotten. When a new commander named Ramses came in, he did not approve of Tut or Akhenaten, so therefore he destroyed any sign of Akhenaten and Nefertiti. He also went to the extremes of building over Tut's tomb. One of Tut's doozies is porphyria, a group of red blood cells disorder. Porphyria leads to buildup of toxic byproducts that can cause unwanted hair to sprout on the body. The tall tale of werewolves might be on a medical basis of porphyria. Also, other symptoms of porphyria is blistering in sunlight, protruding teeth, and bloody red urine. The disease also might have started to inspire the tale of vampires. On a U.S. talk show, explains that vampires roam at night because the sun blisters their skin, and drink blood to have relief from his symptoms, and also to replace missing blood components. This show became a hit and had many people questioning their physicians if they would become a bloodlusting vampire. A few years later, a deranged Virginia man stabbed a dismembered porphyric buddy to protect himself. Therefore, some medical-based diseases explain folktales and cruelty back then. Some other medical diagnoses are King George III with porphyria. He did not blister in the sunlight, but he did pee what seemed like red rose wine. Also, JFK had hepatitis, leukemia, and Addison's classic disease. Also, Abraham Lincoln was tracked by a 7-year-old boy as an ancestor when diagnosed with Marfan syndrome. Also, one of the Jeffersons was tracked by Y chromosomes in fathering one of Sally Hemings' children, which show a Jefferson did father them, just not sure which one. DNA can help many in answering questions. You cannot always tell if somebody suffers from a genetic disorder. One of the most intriguing patients today is Charles Darwin, because of both the exclusive nature of his illness and the possibility that he passed it on to his children by marrying a close relative. Darwin's health started to fall apart when going aboard HMS Beagle, constantly being laid low by seasickness. His stomach could only handle raisins for many meals. He wrote letters to his father, a physician, seeking for advice. Darwin was fit during a board by 30-mile hikes in South America, but after returning to England in 1836 and marrying, he turned into a wheezing wreck, who often disgusted even himself. It would take a genius to capture how cramped and queasy Darwin usually felt. He suffered from boils, fainting fits, heart flutters, numb fingers, migraines, dizziness, eczema, ringing in his ears, passing horrendous gas, and extremely tremendous vomiting after every meal, which continued until he was dry heaving. He vomited 20 times an hour, and for 27 days running once. For healthier air, he retreated to Down House, 16 miles from London. He could not write 20 minutes without a pain somewhere. He grew a large beard to soothe eczema to keep from scratching his face. He missed years of work due to aching pains. He did have some advantages, such as never having to teach a lecture. His months at home let him explore into evidence of evolution. To help his illness, he tried many things, such as swallowing most of the periodic table in different medical forms, sucked lemons, dabbled in opium, and took prescriptions of ale, early electric shock therapy, a battery-charged galvanization belt that zapped his abdomen. The most effective cure was the water cure by Dr. James, which had no serious plans in medical industry, but after slaves gained their freedom in 1834, he had to see patients full-time. Darwin decamped to Malvern in 1849 with his family and servants. The water cure consisted of keeping patients moist at all times. Darwin was wrapped in a wet and beneficial sheet at 5 a.m. Back at the cottage, patients ate biscuits and drank more water. Bathing supposedly drew blood away from the inflamed inner organs toward the skin, providing relief. The bathe usually ended at dinner, and he ended the night after dinner by Darwin crashing in a dry bed. After 4 months, Darwin felt bully and able to hike 7 miles a day. He continued this by bathing in water as low as 40 degrees Fahrenheit. But eventually the stress got to him, and the water cure lost its power.
DNA can only
One of the
reveal so
reasonable
much of
diseases was
anything.
Chagas disease, which are flu-like symptoms, which he may have caught from the South American kissing bug. He kept one as a pet when aboard. He was fascinated with how it sucked blood from his finger, puffing up like a tick.
Darwin fell ill when his favorite daughter died at age 10. He returned for the water cure, but eventually died of a heart attack. DNA can only reveal so much of anything.